It's nighttime, and I'm in the Shakespeare Hotel in Vilnius, and I have the pleasure of meeting Pawel Daniel you say
Zalewski.
Zalewski.
That's the proper pronunciation. Yes.
From Krakow. And Pawel
in Spanish, Paweł in Polish.
Yes, yes. Pawel is an author, and he's a photographer, and he's many, many things. So please tell me a bit about yourself.
First of all, let me say that perhaps there is some kind of dichotomy, some kind of duality in myself. Maybe everybody has many faces and presents many aspects during his lifetime. But some people know me as a businessman, as a co-owner and co-founder of the British International School of Krakow in Krakow, Poland.
You don't look like a businessman to me.
Yeah, believe me, I wear the same band on my head when I go to work.
Right.
And they have to accept that I'm as I am.
A revolutionary.
Yeah, maybe. But it's not always red. Sometimes it's black or orange.
Do you go to bed in it as well?
No. Never. So it's very interesting because as a businessman, for the last 25 years, I tend to use my left logical hemisphere. So what I do at British International School of Krakow is dealing with administration and finance, which involves logics, being logical, being very peculiar about things, being diligent, and you have to follow some steps. You have to work with numbers, and the other face of mind, the other aspect is creativity. So the right hemisphere and the things which people think are the opposite to what I've just mentioned.
Well,
being creative, inventive.
Your background is very creative. Your mother, you said, was an artist?
Yes, my mother was a famous painter.
Oh, she was famous.
Wanda Mazderańska, yes. She was a famous painter in Poland.
Right.
And she sold her paintings, oil paintings, in Poland and abroad in the 70s and 80s in particular, and the 90s.
Repeat her name again,
Wanda Macedońska.
Okay.
It's like the word Macedonian.
Yes,
Macedońska,
yes. And
which she was Polish.
Yes.
Maybe her ancestors were from the south of Europe.
And your father?
My father is a retired professor of fine arts. He specializes in art restoration of mural paintings.
Oh.
So he's not a crazy artist with a pipe in his mouth painting or making sculptures. He's rather a more kind of academic person, a scientist or more scholarly than an artist.
Yes. Has he written books?
No, he wrote articles and dissertations.
Yes.
But not books. No.
Yes.
He doesn't even read books.
Yes.
He only deals with his academic pursuit, and he's in a way limited and very consistent in what he's doing. He's not looking at other aspects of life.
Now,
he's totally committed to renovation of mural paintings.
You mentioned your grandfather. Would that be on the paternal side?
Yes.
Yes.
On the paternal side. And
tell me about your grandfather.
Yes.
Because that's very relevant to the book.
Yes, it's relevant to this book. The book is called Bez pamięci, which means more or less no memory. But there is a different meaning of this phrase.
Yes.
Because bez pamięci means madly, in a crazy manner, head over heels. For example, to fall in love, head over heels, would be to fall in love bez pamięci. So bez pamięci means that the memory lacks. Somebody is deprived of memory, or maybe the world is deprived of the memory of someone. But at the same time, it means that the main character of this book, Piotr in Polish, is traveling, looking for the memory of his grandfather, and he's doing it in a crazy manner.
But
he's doing it in a crazy manner because he's... yes, sorry. Ask the question.
You
It might
went
help me.
yourself to Siberia, didn't you?
Yes, I went.
Are you Peter?
In a way, I am. I went to Siberia because I wanted to see the place where he died on the 6th of December 47, of course 1947, and I wanted to experience the same cold, freezing cold, minus 40 at daytime.
Minus 40?
Minus 40 at daytime.
Oh my God.
I
and at
wanted
night
to
time?
experience
And
this,
at night time?
And I don't know because I slept then, but it must have been more.
Oh.
But I have to tell you the communication was not working. And I have to tell you that it was, that I lived in a hotel and we had radiators and they worked. We had electricity. He lived by the candle, like this candle.
Yes, yes.
He stayed in a wooden house in 47, and it was a house for political exiles. So people who were sent for political exiles.
Yes.
So he didn't have, he had lice instead of having heat or having light. So his conditions were much worse than my conditions. No wonder he died. But he didn't die in this book. Maybe it's...
No, because you fictionalized it, didn't you?
I fictionalized it. Maybe it's me missing my grandfather. Maybe it's some kind of... maybe it's longing for him. Maybe it's this kind of thing which I don't realize. But working upon this book, I had 2 journeys behind me. One was the thing that we've just mentioned, Siberia. The town is called Tyumen. And the second one was Mongolia, which was quite close to Siberia. And in this book, I sent my grandfather, instead of sending him to grave, I sent him to Mongolia with a special medical mission. And he, in this book, he survived.
So you had to do an awful lot of research, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
How much time did you spend in Siberia? And how much time?
We spent only about 2 weeks in Siberia,
That's all?
but over a month and a half in Mongolia.
Right.
In empty places like this place.
Yes.
And the book includes a number of photographs, which present a document from my trips to Mongolia and to Siberia.
And you got a lot of information from your grandmother as well, didn't you?
And I have a lot of letters, about 200 letters.
You mean he wrote to your...
Yeah, no.
Always...
No. He wrote letters from Siberia, of course.
Yes.
Full of longing, full of sentiments.
Oh, they didn't censor it.
He got the letters from my grandmother. They censored it, but there was nothing wrong in them, so they sent them. I mean, many of them must have been lost.
Yes.
But many came to my grandmother, and she brought them to Krakow from Lvov when she came back to Krakow in 45.
Lvov, yes.
From Lvov, yes. But what I mean, this story begins in pre-war times, and I base myself also upon his letters from the pre-war period. He left over 200 letters, typewritten letters. So I don't have to decipher.
Oh, so he had a typewriter?
Yes, of course.
Well, no.
And he had a company paper. So these are very elegant letters.
Wow. And you've read all of those letters?
Yes, I've read all of them.
All in great detail.
I know him. I never met him, but I know him so well.
It would make a wonderful movie, wouldn't it?
Each of the letters is 2 or 3 pages long, typewritten letters. So you can imagine how much you can fit on 3 pages.
And he was a good writer.
He was a good writer.
Oh.
He was a good writer. And it also depicts the era.
Yes, the era. What year
era.
Would that be?
I mean, the
40s.
The 20s and the 30s of the past century.
Yes.
And all the little things, what kind of furniture they bought, what dogs they had, what nannies they had. So this book is in a way very true because it bases itself on the facts. On the other hand, I made up a lot of things.
Yeah, we're going to have to end there.
Yes, of course.
God